such an important Q&A with Tamar G, our registered dietitian, because I'm super scared of carbs. And when we started to develop this plan, I was like, are you kidding me? Like, what are we gonna do with all these carbs? How will I feel healthy, not feel like I feel after I eat all these carbs? And you told me not to be scared.
Okay.
And not enough, you also put white potatoes on this plan. Now you
One recipe, but yes. Okay, so one of the things I think about healthy eating is that really nothing is off limits. I mean, our goal is, and all the recipes are all whole grain,
Yeah.
and and whole foods. So, but even still, we have a couple things here, dessert here and there, where we allow some, little cheats. But
Right.
overall, it's like all whole foods and all whole grain.
Right.
So the thing about carbohydrates, a lot of people used to be afraid of fat, and then
Right.
they discovered there were good fats and bad
Totally,
fats.
yeah. I went through like my whole high school years eating fat-free, like a whole fat-free Entenmann's cake.
Right.
My mom was like, I don't think you should eat the whole cake. But
So exactly, and it's the same thing with carbs. There are good carbs and there are bad carbs, and with all of these things, there's too much of something.
Right.
So you can never have too much of even a good thing. You can't have
Right.
so much that it becomes too much. You don't want to eliminate carbs because our bodies need carbs, just like
Right.
they need fat. But you want to try and have most of your carbs come from whole grains. And a variety. So that's mostly
Right.
what I believe a lot in, and a variety, moderation,
Yeah.
and whole grain. Because I feel like every day you read a different, story about this is now healthy, this
Right.
is now unhealthy.
Totally.
You shouldn't eat this, you should eat this.
Right.
And, like, you can't live that way. And so my basic philosophy is like sticking, having a well-rounded,
Yeah.
diet. So that way we have, whole grain rice, we have and pasta, we have bulgur, we have
Right.
spelt,
Quinoa.
we
Yeah.
have quinoa. So you
Yeah.
try and have,
Basmati.
and there are even more that we could have gone
Yeah.
to. We wanted to keep it somewhat,
Sure.
what you can easily find. So so I basically feel that there are people, I will say, there are people that are more sensitive to carbohydrates than others.
Right.
And so if you find that, you're doing this and either, I don't know, I guess it's more either carbohydrates, it may be the gluten, so you just may need to try and find the ones that are lower, like
Right.
maybe the rice would do better for you than the bulgur. So
Right.
that is
And we do give gluten-free chips for
Exactly.
every recipe,
Right.
so you can convert that if you are more sensitive or actually have a gluten allergy.
Exactly.
Right.
But in terms of weight loss,
That was it. My fear is like is
Right.
in weight loss. Like
I believe really in calories in versus calories out.
right.
And a little bit is the combination, but of what you're eating. And again, some people are going to say you have to just eliminate the carbs. I haven't found that personally for most
Right.
people that I've worked with, and for myself. I find that if I really pay attention to how many calories I'm eating,
Right.
then I'm fine. I don't see it's a difference if I've eaten. And again, white sugar, totally different story.
Right.
White flour, different story.
Right.
If you're sticking to the whole grains, then you shouldn't have a problem.
Okay, so that's great, but when you actually put the white potatoes, is that in the shard shakshuka?
Yes.
I was like
You
editing
need to
it,
do
and I was
white
like, it
potatoes.
was a mistake. It was a mistake. So what's your philosophy
white
behind
potatoes
that?
are, although they're not a grain, exactly. Potatoes are a vegetable,
Right.
and they actually are very high in nutrients. Especially I kept the skin
With
on,
the
so
skin.
you get extra fiber there. They're very high in potassium. So while some people believe you can't have white potatoes, some people say you can't have sweet potatoes. So it just depends on who you are, anyways. I believe that you can include all these different things,
Right.
and while sweet potatoes have more nutrients than
Yeah.
potatoes, which is why we favor them in most of the
Sure.
recipes. White potatoes are still a vegetable, and
Right.
they're still, high in nutrients, and so I say we should enjoy them.
Yeah.
In certain meals. And again, it's all about the variety.
That's what my guru says, and that's what I do. But the thing that I do love about you, seriously, is that you're not so caught up with the trends, and you're very into a holistic philosophy for this meal plan for your life. And I'm so happy that you finally took me up. I've been wanting her to help me just get on the right track with my eating, and now I can with this 28-day Joy of Kosher challenge. So thanks.